What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's your boy Q Morgan in the building. Welcome to another edition of Blowing the Budget. Here we highlight those budget-friendly cigars, as well as introduce our new smoker friends to the cigar lifestyle. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the like button. Automatically enter yourself into the monthly swag bag drawing. I pick out a couple of sticks, I print up a couple of shirts, I send them directly to your house. I'm excited to blow something from Gran Habano. This is a boutique blend, the Black Dahlia. Don't know what this is all about, but I'm about to get through this whole stick with you. So let's get into it. I want to welcome all my smoker friends to Blowing the Budget. Here we highlight those budget-friendly cigars as well as those premium sticks that appears on everybody's wish list. Today we're doing something boutique blend from Gran Habano. This is the Black Dahlia. Right off the bat, I'm picking up a little white pepper on the retro. There's a little leathery introduction to the first couple of puffs. And of course, starting out with a little bit of uneven burn, but we hoping that's gonna catch up, and then we can get through this first third. This is the Black Dahlia, and you watching Blowing the Budget. Introduced in 2017, this $9 Robusto is part of Gran Habano's boutique line, which include the STK Barracuda, the STK Zulu, and American Puro. Of course, STK stands for Stay True, Kid. As we get into the first third, I'm picking up a little bit of sweetness. As I said before, we started out with a little white pepper on the retro and a hint of leather. And now that we've gotten a little bit into the first third, that leathery is actually coming through a little bit more pronounced. And of course, we've identified that there's something sweet going on in this first third. Now, this Black Dahlia is the brainchild of Jorge Rico. He's blended Nicaraguan Habano binders, a filler that contains Nicaraguan Cubita and Habano tobaccos, and of course, Colombian and Costa Rica leaves are all wrapped in a Nicaraguan shade-grown Corojo wrapper. Now, the name Black Dahlia may sound familiar to many of you older smoker friends. That's the nickname of Elizabeth Short. She was a woman murdered in Los Angeles' Leimert Park back in 1947. This grisly murder sparked national headlines and even sparked a movie back in 2006. All right, y'all, as we get out of the first third and approach half, let's look at that construction. We have a nice sheen. There's a little bit of veining on the wrapper. Of course, that may be some marks taken down from the Cigar Aficionado rating system, for those that matter. I'm not sure that this has a aficionado rating of sorts, but definitely a smooth smoke. Beautiful return on the draw. Definitely a deceitful stick. It started out kind of mild to medium, very light on the pepper, an introduction to leather, and there was a subtle sweetness. Now that we've gotten into half, we're kind of getting deep into the approach. I'm picking up a little ramping. My pepper is a little bit stronger and concentrated on my Retrohale. At the same time, I'm also picking up like a kind of a toast or roasted coffee. Again, this is the Black Dahlia from Gran Habanos. And this is definitely a budget-friendly stick at $9. To my new smoker friends, Retrohale. You puff the stick, we don't inhale. Hold a little bit of smoke in your mouth so that you can actually get a sensation on your tongue and on the sides of your cheeks. Once you feel that little sensation or a little tingle, you're going to release a little bit of the smoke out of your mouth, holding the rest so that that can be released through your nose. With some practice, and of course you may experience an overwhelming sensation should too much smoke come through your nose. But again, with practice, you'll be able to identify in more detail the flavor profiles that make up whatever you're smoking. Here's a demonstration. And like I said, there's that pepper tinge that's building up, and I'm kind of picking up some sporadic cedar in here somewhere. That's kind of interesting. But again, with practice, you'll be able to identify in greater detail whatever the flavor profile makes up your favorite stick. Now, of course, you may get something different from the next person, but that's what the Retrohale will allow you to identify. And we definitely get into the deeper part of half, and we got an even burn. So the burn has kind of evened out, mellowed out. The cigar is kind of ramping up right now. It's getting a little stronger in flavor profile. So now we go from, I would say this would be a medium to full, definitely in the middle somewhere. It's definitely not full throttle. This is not bust your ass strength flavor, but it is definitely robust in its transition. Like I said, in the beginning, first third, we got like a mild to medium. Every flavor was kind of really light. Now that I'm into half, the flavors have become a little more concentrated or a little more stronger in strength. Again, it's not bust your ass, but it's definitely an enjoyable smoke. Well, y'all, we lost the ash. So you know what that means. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. That's why we smoke them naked. I'm no professional by any means. However, I do enjoy the opportunity to share with my smoker friends those sticks that I enjoy, as well as those that I don't. And this Black Dahlia is definitely one to smoke again. How we're gonna add that to the box, I'm not quite sure. Can't pull the trigger on it quite yet, but again, I will be smoking this again. This cigar lifestyle is truly about doing what's enjoyable for you. If you like the sweet stuff, if you like the strong stuff, if you like the expensive stuff, whatever it is that you enjoy, make sure that you're doing the best you that you can do. Don't sweat the small stuff. You ready for Cigar Week Houston? I am. Left a link for the previous video, tell you what's going on down in Houston. We got it coming up Memorial Weekend. And of course, there's one happening at the beginning of the month. So, like I said, there's another video that explains everything that's happening during Cigar Week Houston. See y'all down there. Alright y'all, we're getting into it. Approaching the last third and home stretch. Not quite there yet, but still approaching nonetheless. As we get into the last third, I'm picking up some sporadic cedar notes on the Retrohale, kind of woody flavor. And of course, that subtle sweetness that we identified earlier in the stick has kind of popped up again. And it's kind of like a honey sweetness that you get in the last third. So of course, as this stick progresses, it does get stronger. So as I said before, in the beginning there were light tones, white pepper, a little leather. There was some identifiable sweetness, but you really couldn't put a finger on it. Now that we've gotten through half and into the last third, everything has amplified. The pepper is definitely pronounced, and you're picking up a little sporadic cedar. It's kind of popping in like, hey, cedar, here we are. And of course, there's the identifiable honey sweetness. And of course, this is definitely a 0 to 100 deceitful stick. Might trick you. Think you're smoking something mild, and of course, we are now about to bust your ass because we're approaching the last third, and all of those flavor profiles have definitely gotten stronger. I can only imagine what's about to happen on this last third. Today we puffing on the Gran Habano Black Dahlia. This is a Nicaraguan Habano binder with Colombian, Costa Rican, and Nicaraguan fillers, all wrapped in a Nicaraguan shade-grown Corojo wrapper. This is definitely a budget-friendly stick at $9. Came in a Robusto, so definitely one to add to the box, definitely one to smoke again. And of course, flavor profile is kind of deceitful. You kind of want it to get a little stronger. I'm getting into the last third, approaching the home stretch. Not quite done with the session yet, but we are ramping up in flavor, but it's not getting to the full throttle. It's kind of like pulling that lawnmower and it just won't start. It'll and then it'll go out. So that's kind of what I'm getting on this. I really wanted to become a little more fuller in strength, but it's definitely not getting any stronger than it has already. This is a full body classification. However, it's kind of soft in its fullness. It is smooth. It's rich in flavor. Those flavors are able to be identified. So in this stick, you can clearly identify what flavors you taste when you puff, when you retrohale. Definitely are distinctive in its identification. White pepper, a little bit of cedar. There's a subtle sweetness that comes through. And then of course, you get a leather that kind of transitions from strong, from light to strong. Don't have very much leather in this last half, but there is a leather taste that you can identify. Now, as we get into this last third, you can see clearly there's some cracking happening on the last third. I try to keep my box between 70 and 72 humidity and temperature wise. So there is some moisture content. However, I've experienced some cracking only at the last third. I mean, we got through the first third, got to half, and we didn't experience any type of cracking or unraveling. And now that we're into the last third, that's what I got. Still a good smoke. I'm gonna try to finish this out, and we are approaching the end of our session. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Blowing the Budget. And if you've done the Black Dahlia, leave some comments below. We definitely want to talk some shit about it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Automatically enter yourself into the monthly swag bag drawing. Again, I print out a couple of shirts, I pick out a couple of sticks, and I send those directly to your house. Whatever you're doing in this cigar lifestyle, y'all, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't take this shit too seriously, but definitely keep it smoking. It's your boy Q Morgan in the building. Peace out.